Hey guys, Scar here from the Score Esports here with Wild Turtle after a 2-1 victory over C9. It was a really close series. First thing I want to ask is, did you expect C9 to come out that strong?
Well, we knew there was like boot camping in Korea, and they're scrimming a lot with TSM, and TSM is obviously looking pretty strong. So we knew C9 wouldn't be that easy, but we didn't know the game was going to be like this.
Oh, I mean, that's pretty fair. I think coming back in, I put you guys easily in top 4. So I think you'll end the split like really high. I rate you guys super high. You have a returning roster of really good players, and I feel like last season maybe more of a fluke that you guys kind of lost the series in the playoffs. Maybe not so much a fluke. TSM played great, right? But I thought that you guys are also super good. So I expect you guys to do super well. And when you guys are kind of held back a little bit by C9. How did it feel knowing that like they immediately targeted the Rek'Sai early and took out the Gragas and forced Reignover onto Olaf? Was that something you guys were expecting and something that you guys had played a lot with?
We weren't expecting it too much, but we played a little bit of OF games. I think we were pretty comfortable in it. We won a lot of scrims with it. But C9, like they definitely, I think they drafted really well, and I think we also got out drafted game 2. And yeah, C9 just played a really strong game, but we ended up playing better for the series.
I think that's totally fair. So when I see your team, I see a lot of times you guys do like 1-3-1 styles of play, like very similar to how the old CLG played, the Huni being very carry oriented. I noticed that recently you're the only team in North America that prioritizes Ashe. Can you explain it to me? You're the main reason why I wanted to talk to you is because you're the only Ashe player so far. Why is that?
It just feels like all the AD carries are like not very impactful, and it feels like Ashe can do whatever. Like she has a pretty good lane, like she's strong 2v2, she can 2v1, and she can hold mid really well with Static Shiv, and she also has the Hawk Shot and the Engage. So I just think she's like the best utility and carry AD right now, because all the AD carries don't do their jobs extremely well because they're just really weak at points of the games, other than Lucian, of course. Lucian is like he just does everything. So yeah, I feel like Ashe with our playstyle fits the best. I just think she just brings a lot to the table, especially for our team.
A lot of teams are focusing toward Lucian into Sivir when Lucian's taken, and you guys decided to go more the Ashe route. Is there a reason why you guys don't prioritize Sivir as highly?
We just think Sivir is a like weak early game, and we think we can abuse it. And we obviously didn't abuse it the second game because we made a lot of mistakes. But we thought we could abuse the Sivir Maokai combo, but obviously that didn't work out, and they just outscaled us.
So right now I see you guys in draft put yourself in a lot of positions where you guys were early pick your mid laner, and then you pick Soraka to cover like, I guess what I would assume to be assassin counter picks. Do you find that to be a very effective strategy for you guys so far? I understand game 2 didn't work out very well for you, but in game 3 it's something you did as well.
I think we just think Soraka is a pretty strong pick sometimes, and we just blinded mid because Huni wants to counter, or sometimes they counter pick on top, and we just think counter pick top is more valuable than counter pick mid.
Huni plays obviously like a riskier play style than a lot of other top laners. Everyone else is pretty, well situated into playing just like 4 different tanks, and Huni's willing to play tanks full AP or like even Riven. How does that really work into your team dynamic or your team comps? Does that mean that you guys end up? It's not necessarily that, or does that mean that you guys end up playing around top a lot more?
Not necessarily. I think Huni can play like a wide variety of champions, and we do play a lot of tanks, but we just haven't brought it out this series, and we ended up opting to the more carry top route right now.
Recently when I see Reignover, I'm always like, this guy probably number 1, number 2, number 3 best jungler in North America, and he's really well known for his Rek'Sai. When you guys play with a person like Reignover who routes really well, like is that something that he learned playing with you guys, or that's something that he just brought in normally and he was just like he just learned all of that himself? Like, was that from coaches, or was that just something that he's just naturally very talented?
I just think he really reads the game really well, and he does that all by himself. Like, he routes all by himself. He knows what he's doing at every point of the game. And he, like, in scrims, sometimes he even tests how far he can, like, steal all the enemy camps with Rek'Sai too. So he's obviously, like, probably the best Rek'Sai player I've ever played with.
Wow, that's a really big word. So game 3, you guys got Rek'Sai, and you guys have been playing 2 games of Olaf. Once you saw the Rek'Sai pick, were you a lot more comfortable? You felt like the game was going to be a lot easier for you?
Well, not necessarily, because C9 also got Lucian, and they got a pretty good comp that they wanted to, but it was definitely a lot off our shoulders once he had the Rek'Sai.
I see the enemy team pick up Lissandra. What's your general thoughts on playing against Lissandra right now? I know a lot of teams are opting not to play Lissandra with champions like Azir in the meta, champions like Victor, but you still see Lissandra here and there on different North American teams. So as the AD carry who's oftentimes the receiver of the Lissandra damage, is it like a lot more stress for you to play against that, or would you prefer that over other champions like Victor or like Fizz?
I would prefer playing against Lissandra a lot because she's like pretty easy to outplay, and like she doesn't really have a lot of rooms to engage too. So it's really easy to play against Lissandra because there's so much room for mistakes. Like you need the perfect engage to play Lissandra like to the fullest, and I feel like that perfect engage is really hard for a lot of players to pull off.
So recently, the support meta shifted into, maybe not shifted, but a lot of people are valuing Zyra and valuing Karma very highly. And before, Karma wasn't as high of a pick before her rework. How does that fit? Does that fit naturally into how Adrian wants to play these more ranged support styles? And is that like beneficial, very beneficial for you guys?
Yeah, I think like Adrian knows like most of the matchups on bot, like he knows the range supports because he was like the first like support in NA to play range supports like exclusively because he loves them. And yeah, I think Adrian knows the matchups in and out. Like he knows the counters for each of the champions. And obviously, I'm not going to say that, but
no, yeah. I understand. You gotta reveal trade secrets to me, man. And my last question is, you played with Pobelter for a full split. There's been a lot of talks about him being really good, him being just average. What's your general opinion about playing with him? How does he make you feel? Because you oftentimes the AD and the mid lane are backline together. So like, how do you feel playing with him after a full split?
I think Pobelter and me, like, we're pretty good as backliners. Like, we generally target, like, the right targets at the same time. And we kite in and out pretty well. And, yeah, I just enjoy playing with Pobelter.
All right, man. Well, thank you for your time. Do you have any last words for any of your fans, any of your future fans, or any Immortals fans?
Well, I just love all my fans and the Immortal fans, and I hope you guys enjoy this ride to Worlds with us.
That's very confident words, and I like it, man. All right, it's been Scar from the Score Esports. You can find more of our coverage online at the Score Esports, and as well as our mobile app. Anyways, thank you guys, and I hope you guys have a nice day.